Hey guys, it's Flubberduge, and I finally have another review ready for you guys. So here we have the Takara Masterpiece MP-27 Ironhide. Now, I did make a video earlier stating that I actually wasn't going to get this figure because I thought that some of the third-party figures were going to be better. But, as it turns out, as usual, I was wrong. So, I watched a few reviews. I was instantly persuaded to get this guy. So I have to say the pictures are so deceiving. In hand, it's much better. But anyway, taking a look at the box, it's actually a little bit bigger than usual. Like normally the Masterpiece boxes are like this tall, but this one's a little bit bigger because Ironhide is a little bit bigger than the other Masterpiece Transformers. So here he is in his Vanette mode. There he is in robot mode. You got the Nissan logo right there. A bunch of Japanese, and I can't read that. You got the Masterpiece logo, Takara. And on the top, you got the same Masterpiece logo. On the side, you have the vehicle mode with the logos. On the other side, you have Ironhide in his interesting pose. I'll leave it at that. On the bottom, you got a bunch of Japanese. And on the back, you got a bunch of product shots for his different modes, different accessories, and different size comparisons, and things like that, and a bunch of Japanese. So, excuse me, that's about it for the box. So, without further ado, let's review this guy out of the box. Okay, so here we have Ironhide opened up and ready to go. So right away, when I got this guy out of the packaging, I was blown away with the paint. I think that they did an excellent job with the color. It's like a glossy red, and the blue windshield is just great. I really, really, really love this figure. I really fell in love with this thing right when I took it out of the box. But anyway, looking at the paint scheme, it's really nice. You kind of got a yellow, a bright yellow, and slowly gets darker. Like here, it's kind of in the middle, and here it gets dark. And it's really quite nice. So I really do like that the way that the paint scheme turned out. I really do like the windshields, and actually something that's really interesting. On the original toy, they had a face like this on there, and that's really cool how they homaged back to that original toy, whereas this, obviously this serves no purpose besides nostalgic reasons, but just a really cool, neat touch. You got door handles are painted silver, that's really cool detail. Everything just connects together. Like there are some panels, not a whole lot, but everything sits together and you don't really see a whole lot of cracks. Really cool. This is where a license plate would go. They didn't really put one there, which I thought was interesting. But the attention to details is really good, and it really alludes back to the original toy, like the sunroof, the paint scheme here. You got just the overall look of it. To the front, you got a nice Tampa-graphed Autobot logo right there. You got a chrome bumper, which is a fingerprint magnet. And you got headlights, which are made out of chrome, so that's pretty cool. On the underside, you can see the legs and stuff, but it's actually fairly decent, I think. The tires are plastic. He does roll very well, so that's good. Some people prefer rubber tires. I am one of those people, but it's not that big of a deal to me. You got nice silver painted rims, a really luster-filled vehicle mode. I really do enjoy playing with him in his vehicle mode. But anyway, he does come with a boatload of accessories, and when I mean a boatload, I mean a boatload. Like, for example, bringing in his whole station here. And I'll show you how to assemble these separately, but yeah, he comes with a lot. But anyway, unpegging this gun, there's a little spring hole right here, and this you just push in, and it's kind of a tight fit, but it does move, and you can kind of angle it, so I think that's pretty cool. It doesn't rotate, so that stinks, but of course I'm never going to do that, but it's an option. You also come with two guns just like this, and the other one's just right here. So you have those two. Plug in, exactly the same. These ones stay a bit more secure, so I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, but hey, it's an option. You can do it. So, yeah, this, I actually, when I saw the original pictures, I thought this was going to transform and be a part of the van, but I was happily surprised to see that it wasn't, because I'm not that type of a person. So that's really cool. But besides that, you can't really use this much else in the vehicle mode. So I guess we can go to size comparisons. So putting Ironhide there. Here he is with Masterpiece Prowl. So there, they stack up together. Actually, about the same length. Prowl's just a tad longer, but obviously, I think this is a pretty good scale. I'm not an expert on that, but for me, it looks pretty good, I think. At least cartoon-wise, they're generally like this. So, taking off Prowl and putting Ironhide back. Here he is with the MP-10. That looks pretty good, I think. At least cartoon-wise. I mean, realistically, I don't think a van would be this big next to a semi-truck. But what are you going to do? I mean, scale's not that big of an issue for me because it never was really consistent in any Transformers universe. So, taking off Prime, I guess now we can get into the transformation. So, to transform Ironhide into his robot mode, first what you want to do is take this rear section, and it is kind of tight, but you pull this up and you rotate it about 90 degrees up, and there you have that. Next, what you want to do is just kind of fold the legs down as much as possible, fold the arms out, or what will become the arms. You fold them out like so. We'll just leave them sit for now. You take the tires, they're on a double hinge and they're actually pretty tight. You rotate it this way. It's really kind of tough, but you want to rotate it out sort of and just kind of fiddle with it so you can rotate it in on itself like so. Same thing on the other tire, and this one's on mine is tougher than the other one. There we go. So you just do that like so, tucking the tires into place. Next you take this piece, untab it, rotate it on itself until it tabs into place like so. Same thing on the other side, and that covers up the tires from the back. Then you take these pieces and you fold this down, and actually there's a tab right here that kind of blocks this, so you really have to kind of push this up just slightly so you can fit this past, covering up the rest of that leg. Same thing on this side here. You just fold this panel down, and it doesn't really create stress. You'd think it would, but it doesn't, which is really nice. So you take these bumper sections and you fold them back to form the heel like so, and then you come to the front, and actually try to move this out of the way so you can see better. You want to split this, which on mine it did tab in, and this time it actually went for once. And you rotate feet in on themselves, and the legs are pretty much done actually. So, well, you have to extend them and then rotate them around. Then they're done. Next, what I like to do is pull these pieces out. Just extend them as much as possible. So, and then you can kind of rotate this up, and I guess you could kind of make a fan mode G1 Ironhide if you really wanted to. So yeah, and then just fold this piece down, and there you have your masterpiece, toy accurate Ironhide. So to transform the rest of the way, taking the arms, you just kind of fold them up like so, leaving these sort of at an angle. I might have to raise my camera so you can see, but so there's sort of an angle right here, and you want to untab this windshield from there and just leave that set for now. With this piece, you rotate this, and I apologize if that's hard to see. You rotate this all the way around. This is on a double hinge, and coming up here, and there's the head, as you can see. You really have to kind of fiddle with this, and it takes a while to get it, but you will eventually. Come on, work with me. Work with me. There we go. So you have to just pull it out all the way like so. Next, just kind of put this back where it was. Rotate this all the way around. Take this piece, and on that double hinge, fold it in on itself like so. And you want these to stay up. And the windshield goes over the armpit windshields like so. Kind of hiding them, and then keeping this piece up. Rotate this piece in, and it just kind of rests there for now. So, and this should be a lot more forward. There we go. So make sure it's sitting like that. Next, you want to take these tabs, fold them down, and they clip and lock the arms into place like so. And actually I found that these tabs really aren't necessary because on mine they stay, but whatever. There's a tab, a red tab right here that goes into this hole right here. Push this up and that will sit, and it already did on that side. So you rotate this down where you got the black solid shoulder facing to the front. You open up this cavity, fold out the hand, rotate this down, not all the way, and it does have to be slanted like this in order for it to be flush. Fold this piece up and collapse this on and tab it in, and there is an arm. And this piece came untabbed. Same thing on this other side. You unfold this whole area, fold out the fist, rotate this on down on that double hinge, make sure it's slanted, fold this piece up, collapse this in, tab that into place, and there you have your second arm. And we're almost done here. You just take this windshield and you fold it up on a double hinge, and there are two tabs here, and they will go into slots here and here. Now, I was watching other reviews and they said that these do not stay secure, but on mine they do, so I'm really glad about that. And one thing I almost forgot, you take this piece and you fold it out about 90 degrees, I'd say, just like that. And then you take this up, really push this in, and that stays in nice and secure, at least on mine. Now, taking these pieces, these are a cause of controversy. You rotate these up. This is what the instructions say. You rotate these up, push them in like so. There are two holes here and here on the back of the butt, and two tabs here and here. And you fold these in, and they tab into place, kind of locking everything together. So, ladies and gentlemen, there we have Masterpiece Ironhide, fully transformed, and in his robot mode. Trying to get him on shot. And there he is. So, I have to say, right when I got this guy out of the box, he was actually vehicle mode, but when I transformed him, I really like the transformation. It's straightforward and simple, and yet the robot mode is just stunning in my opinion. I mean, from the front, the cartoon look is clearly here. There's no doubt about it. The legs, I love the legs and how solid and blocky they are. That's one thing I really enjoy about this toy, is how G1-esque it is, like all the blockiness, the chunks. That's how Ironhide should be, down and dirty and plain and simple. So I really do like the aesthetic of the toy. I really do like what they were going for. Of course, there are a few minor things here and there. Number one, the hip skirts. I'm not a huge fan of those. I can get past them. I will admit that in hand, it's not as bad as you'd think it'd be. But I just wish, I'm folding up his hand, I wish they could have put this up in here to fill in this gap. I just feel like that would make the toy a lot better. And there are fan modes that I've seen. You can rotate these tires out and kind of fold this up like so, but it looks ugly, to be honest. So I've seen multiple different things to try to fill in the gaps, but I'm just going to go with the instructions because I found that that's the most flush way to do it. So honestly, if you can get past it, this toy is still stellar. Very, very good. I can't praise this toy enough. And yes, it has flaws, as every toy does, but I still feel that it's solid. And my opinion was not like this when I first saw the first pictures that were released. But another thing that I was worried about was the head sculpt. So I'll zoom in on the head sculpt here real quick. I was afraid that it looked really, I don't know, like he almost had a disease or something. So I'm trying to focus my camera here. But anyway, it's just a really solid head sculpt, I think. It looked a lot different on the box and the instructions and the pictures, but I have to say that it turned out really nice. And I'm sorry if you can't see the full effect of it on camera, but it just, in person, it looks a lot better than on the box. I'll just stick with that. The one big problem though is that it is an interchangeable face. He has another face. It easily falls off. I mean, like easily. I mean, not like to the point where like it just droop off. I mean, I do this, it stays, but it's not ideally stiff, so that's kind of a bummer, but it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, overall, I really do like this toy. I think in retrospect, it is really solid. It really gives the persona of Ironhide a great look. I really like this toy. So for size comparison, could put Ironhide there. Here's with a regular Masterpiece car, and Sideswipe, Prowl, and all of them are all the same size as Wheeljack. So there they stack up next to each other. I would like Ironhide maybe to be a bit shorter or Wheeljack to be a bit taller, but it works. And if he faints on you, it works for me. It's not ideal, but like I said, it works. So taking off Wheeljack. Here he is with the MP-10 Hasbro Masterpiece Prime. So taking a look at those two next to each other. I'll raise my camera so you can see. There they are together, and that's great. I really like the scale there, and try to realign Prime's feet. That works great. I really do like the way they look together. It just... And Ironhide actually has a different shade of red, and I don't know how well it's coming off the camera, but his is more of a scarlet, his is more of like a crimson red. It's really quite cool, actually. I really do like the contrast of red. So there you have Peter Cullen's two characters next to each other, ready for action. So, taking off Prime. We'll bump the camera. Here's with Masterpiece Starscream. So, here's with a Decepticon. So actually, he's like exactly the same height, if not a bit taller. That's kind of interesting, actually. So, taking off Starscream. The dryer's done. And here he is with his Executioner. Apollyon / Megatron. That's pretty good right there, I think. Anyway, he's got his fist clenched. So, and they stack up. Megatron is about half a head to a head taller, I'd say. Overall, great scale. Really good. It's taking off Apollyon. Setting him off to the side. And that is, I think... Oh, I have one more very important size comparison. Here he is. With my little custom G1 Ironhide. It was kind of loose. Aww. Yeah. I sacrificed his transformation, so I gave him a little new paint job. I gave him a black back. Yeah. It's decent. It's not great, but he has full articulation. I actually was going to use this in the movie, but he is replaced. Grandpa can take a rest. So, yeah, pretty short, as you can see. So, taking off my custom Ironhide. I think that's all I have to do for the size comparison. So, putting him in the center. And as I said before, he comes with a boatload of accessories. So, let's get started with that. So, obviously, he has I think he has 3 guns. Yeah, 3 guns. So, get these off the stand. First, he comes with a G1 Accurate gun, which is all chromed out, which is really nice. I really do like the way that this gun looks. Is pretty cool. Although the handle isn't red, but I don't really care about that. So he has the classic Masterpiece grip inside of his fingers, and his fingers are really tight. You got a hole up in here, a little slot, and you got the tabs on the side of the gun, and they just fit right in there. And this one's actually kind of tougher to get in than the usual ones. So there we go. So close his fist back up, and there you have that. And then you come with 2 movie accurate guns, which were the guns that he used when he got killed by Megatron in Transformers movie. Spoiler alert, I'm sorry if I ruined it for you. Ironhide dies in like every series he's in, so it's no surprise that he died at the hands of Megatron. Although his death in Dark of the Moon was stupid, to say the least. So, on this one, I'm having a tough time. Oh, there we go. There we go. Just tab into place. Back the fingers, and you can have him holding a bunch of guns. So there you have that. That's pretty cool. I do like how they included the different types of guns, and actually they have 2 of these, which is a bit more accurate than just having 1 or opposed to 1. Of course, it wouldn't be a big deal if you didn't have just 1, but this one does not want to come out. There we go. So taking that out. I think I'll be using this mostly. I always like the look of that gun. So, and he does come with a ton of liquid nitrogen nozzles, so I'll get those unpegged. But while I'm waiting, he does have 2 holes on his forearms on either side, and you can put this radar dish that you saw in one G1 episode. So there you have that. totally an option for you. So if you really want to do that, there you go. So taking this off, it doesn't really go anywhere else. But anyway, it does come with a ton of liquid nitrogen nozzles right here. So yeah, these are all of them it comes with. He even comes with the hand one. So we'll just go down the line. What you do is, obviously, you flip this up, rotate the hand in, close back, and I got a dog hair in there. Close that back up, and we'll start with the gray matte one. Just plug it on, and yeah, they gave him a ton. They gave him 2 of each one, so you have that. You can give him his classic hands. So that's pretty cool. Really like it. Sorry about the jump cut there, my camera died, so we'll get back to the hand nozzles. Again, just in case if you missed, opening this up, closing it back up, and last we have the red nozzle, which is the same exact color as Ironhide, so it's just a cylindrical nozzle. It's pretty plain. You saw it in one episode. Yeah, pretty much the story there. So we can take out his fist again. So there we have that. And he does come with something else. You do have a rocket launcher, which you did see him with in one episode. I think it was like More Than Meets the Eye Part something or other. But anyway, you got this, and then you got 2 fire illustration things. I don't even know what to call them, but you plug them into the bottom like so. On the back, you got a hole right here, hole right here. Boom, pegged it on, and that's pretty cool. I actually do really like that. That looks pretty sweet. I just wish I could put this thing on Sideswipe or something, because he never really came with a jetpack. But anyway, that's pretty cool. I do really like that, so that's pretty cool. Taking this off, and you can store all this stuff onto his I don't even know what to call it, his sled, his war sled. So taking a look at that, it's pretty bare right now. I'll zoom in so you can see better, but it does have this, which looks pretty close to the original sled, which was kind of a backpack on the original toy. So taking this off, this it doesn't like spring load or anything. It just pegs in just like that. You leave it in there. That's pretty cool. So this thing rotates. This thing has actually a triple hinge. So that's pretty cool. And you can unpeg it if you so wish. You could put it on his back if you want, I guess. You could really do that, but hey, it's your toy. Do whatever you want with it. So there you have that. And I don't know exactly how to put all this on, but you got different tabs here, so I'm just going to do this. You put the nozzles on like so. They got all little tabs in here, and I apologize if you couldn't see that there. But, oh my god, there we go. And the hands, you can just peg on. It's like the same exact tabs on the back of his hands. So that's just kind of weird seeing hands go up from there, but hey, you can do it. And these fireballs, you can really peg in anywhere. I like to put them at the edge here, because I think that's what it was in the pictures. It was like that. So you can put those there. You got this peg here, this hole right here. You got slots right here for these kind of indents on the jetpack. So you peg that in, and there you have that. You can take the gun, and you can really peg that wherever you want. I like to put it right there. And then you take this, and you put it into this hole right here. And then you take this radar. You can really put it on either side. I wish you could fit in the middle, but you can't. Peg this on right there. I guess that's what I do. So there's all of his accessories. That's really cool that you can store all of them. And underneath, you have a face. An angry Ironhide face. And to swap that out, I'll raise my camera up here so you can see what I'm doing. To swap out the angry Ironhide face, it's quite simple. And I think I showed you this maybe a little bit earlier. You just push this, and this kind of loosens up the face. And he's got kind of a creepy hollow head, and I just about dropped that. And you peg this on, push it in, and now you got angry Ironhide. He's ready to bust some Deceptichops. So that's pretty cool. I have to give him an angry face. And Masterpiece hasn't really been doing that, at least as far as I know, and that's kind of a recent thing. Maybe they're taking some hints from some third-party companies, but anyway, you just put this back on the bottom. There's a hole right here. There's a peg on the back. That's cool that you can store everything on the sled and not on him, which is nice. So, oh, there's one thing I forgot. There's a way to store these guns in vehicle mode, and I do apologize for this, but coming down to the legs here, I wonder if there's a way to do this. I'll just untransform one. You can do it on both sides, but I think I can actually demonstrate this here. So taking a gun off. So I do apologize for not showing this off earlier, but hey, I'm human, just like everyone else. So there's a rivet right here, and that goes on just like so. So you can store that on there just like that in vehicle mode. And again, I apologize that I didn't show that off earlier. I was trying to remind myself to do it, but I knew I forgot something. So pulling this back. So yeah, it's just another storage option. So it's not like it's a big deal, but hey, it's a storage option. It's just put on my camera. So for articulation, it's really good considering with some certain proportions. With his legs, you got the universal joint right here, so you can rotate that up there. It's kind of squeaky, so you can go back, not too far. The tires kind of block it. You flip forward these hip skirts, which look kind of interesting. You can fold it just about 90 degrees. You can't really go out that far due to the hip skirts. That's another reason why I don't like the hip skirts. He does rotate at the knee. He does bend 90 degrees on a nice soft ratchet, and I apologize if you can see. His feet, you can move forward and back, or forward and back, and then you can tilt them at the ankles, and you can, I guess, extra pivot on the toes. There we go. You can. I don't even know if that's a point of articulation. You can move the heels back and forth. So there's that. He does have a waist rotation, which is really nice. Always like a good waist rotation. His shoulders are on a ratchet, a nice clickety ratchet. They go in and out, and you can go all the way up. You theoretically can rotate on a soft ratchet at 360, but this black piece right here kind of hinders that. So you have to put his arm out to be able to do that full 360. So he does have a 90 degree at the elbow. He does rotate at the bicep, and I'm tapping this. He does rotate at the bicep. The fingers are all hooked together. The thumb doesn't move, but they open out like that. The wrist rotates. The head is on a ball joint, so you got some head tiltage going, which is really nice. I've been kind of missing the ball joints on the Masterpiece figures, so that's really cool. You can do a full 360. You can look pretty far up and not very far down, but you got this extra joint right here. So it was flush like this, and it goes like that. And you can look pretty far down, so that's kind of cool. So that's about it for articulation. So I think we're done. We are done. So there is the Takara Masterpiece MP-27 Ironhide, and I will say that I am highly impressed with this figure. From what the pictures have shown us, they're really deceiving. I will say that right up front. They are really deceiving. The pictures do not do the figure justice whatsoever. So take it from me, this figure is much better in hand. I mean, infinitely better in hand. It's not the best Masterpiece figure by a long shot, but I'd say it's pretty far up there. It's one of my favorites so far. I really do enjoy this figure. I really like having him in my collection. I was going to get that Voodoo Robots Ratchet and Ironhide, but I held back, which I'm really glad I did. I actually bought that Galvatron figure, and I will do a review about that. So that DX9 Tyrant or whatever. So I held out and bought that, but I always wanted a Masterpiece style Ironhide and Ratchet. So I saw the reviews coming out for Masterpiece Ironhide, so I watched them. My mind was like changed immediately. So I decided to pick him up, and I did, and I do not regret it. And I hope that you won't regret it either if you decide to pick him up. So if you do want to pick him up, I will put a link down in the video description below for Big Bad Toy Store. That's where I picked him up. Very good service. I love Big Bad Toy Store. They're my favorite online store. That's where I get most of my figures. So I'll put a link there. And also, if you missed any of my other Masterpiece reviews, I do have a playlist for Transformers reviews. You can check that out if you want to see any of my other figures that I've reviewed. But yeah, I would highly recommend picking this guy up. It's totally worth it. I couldn't see why they couldn't make better pictures, but overall, just really solid. I mean, you can see his silhouette. He looks like perfectly like Ironhide, minus maybe the hip guards. It's like the only thing I don't like about this figure is the hip guards. But besides that, I enjoy this thing through and through. I would definitely recommend picking him up. But of course, it's your choice, so make your own decision based off of your preference and taste. But as for me, this is Fuberdude saying, keep playing, guys.